Based on a survey done by ABC News, 70% of Americans reportedly believe that there is more to the story of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy than provided by the United States government. While the United States government claims that Lee Harvey Oswald was the only man involved in the assassination of President Kennedy, I believe there is a much larger plot behind his death. The American public deserves the right to know exactly what happened to the president and should be given the details surrounding the mystery of his death. I have interest in this assassination and enjoy reading and learning more about government conspiracies that have occurred throughout the history of the United States of America. First, I will explain the events of the Kennedy assassination according to the United States government. Second, I will provide a background of Lee Harvey Oswald and give reasons why the government story could be proven true. Third, I will explain a conspiracy theory given to explain his mysterious death and will give details on how this theory could be proven true. Finally, I will give my own opinion on what really happened to the president on the day he was assassinated. The story provided by the United States government explaining the death of President Kennedy has been one of the most controversial accounts of the events of his assassination. The government claims that on November 22, 1963, the president was shot and killed by Lee Harvey Oswald while riding in a parade procession through downtown Dallas, Texas. The Warren Commission, a government agency created by Lyndon B. Johnson to investigate Kennedy's death, concluded in a report that Oswald acted alone, firing 3 shots from a 7.65 Mauser bolt-action rifle from the top floor of the Dallas School Book Depository building. This building was directly behind Kennedy and the parade procession. Just hours after the assassination, Oswald was arrested for shooting and killing a policeman and was later discovered to be the man who killed the president. Later that day, while Oswald was being transferred to a county jail, he was shot and killed by Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby, reportedly claiming revenge for the death of the president. The accounts provided by the United States government could be proven true, because Lee Harvey Oswald's background indicated he was the type of person with the potential to kill the president. He was a former Marine and disgruntled American citizen who was defected to the Soviet Union because of his poor opinion of the United States government. Some reports claim that during his time in the Soviet Union, Oswald developed a strong hate for Kennedy and the American government. The Warren Commission also reported that Oswald was not in good health on the day of Kennedy's assassination, reporting that he thought he deserved to die. While the government states that Lee Harvey Oswald was the only man involved in the assassination of John F. Kennedy, there is a conspiracy theory stating that the Central Intelligence Organization, or CIA, was behind the president's death. Theorists have found evidence implying that Lee Harvey Oswald had top-secret clearance in CIA-regulated areas, leading many theorists to believe that Lee Harvey Oswald was involved in the Central Intelligence Organization. Film evidence by eyewitnesses show that Kennedy's Secret Service bodyguards, men who reportedly had ties to the CIA, left their posts around Kennedy's car just minutes before the president was shot. Had the bodyguards been present, they could have shielded the president from gunfire and could have spared his life. After the assassination, the CIA quickly obtained and cleaned the president's car, removing all evidence from the scene. The CIA also blocked an autopsy of Kennedy's body, leading many theorists to believe that they were covering up their involvement in these events. It is also theorized that Jack Ruby, the man who shot and killed Lee Harvey Oswald, was a CIA intelligence agent who did not want the CIA to be discovered to be involved in the events. While this conspiracy contained flaws, it also possesses several interesting points that could be legitimate. The fact that Kennedy's bodyguards left their posts to protect the president just minutes before the assassination seems to be more than a coincidence. If these men were instructed to shield the president from gunfire, they should have been at their posts throughout the entire parade procession. It also appears evident that the CIA was attempting to hide their involvement by disposing of all evidence found at the scene and blocking an autopsy of Kennedy's body. It also seems to be more of a coincidence that Jack Ruby, a man who reportedly had ties to the CIA, would kill Lee Harvey Oswald before he could be thoroughly interrogated by federal investigators. In my opinion, the CIA was behind the assassination of John F. Kennedy because they wanted him out of the way so that Lyndon B. Johnson could become president. I believe that Lee Harvey Oswald was instructed by the CIA to be in the top floor of the Dallas Schoolbook Depository building and to fire shots at the parade procession. However, I believe the fatal wound was delivered by a second gunman placed by the CIA somewhere throughout the parade procession. After the assassination, the CIA quickly obtained and cleaned Kennedy's car, removing all evidence so that their involvement could not be discovered. An autopsy on the President's body could have proved the theory of their involvement. However, since the autopsy was blocked, no such evidence was found. I also believe that Jack Ruby was instructed by the CIA to kill Lee Harvey Oswald so that no details surrounding the involvement of the CIA could be disclosed to the public. Although the United States government claims that Lee Harvey Oswald was the only man involved in the assassination of John F. Kennedy, I believe there is a much larger plot behind his death. First, I explained the events of the Kennedy assassination according to the U.S. government. Second, I provided a background of Lee Harvey Oswald and gave reasons why the government's story could be proven true. Third, I explained a conspiracy theory and gave reasons why this conspiracy theory could be the reason why the president was killed. Finally, I gave my own opinion on what really occurred the day the president was assassinated. While everyone may have their own views on a conspiracy such as this, I would encourage people not to simply accept the stories that are given as truth and to do research to develop their own individual opinion.